Welcome back to another daily LeetCode breakdown. Let's get right into today's challenge. Today we are solving a really interesting problem called Jump Game VII. Here is the problem page. It's a bit wordy with some formulas, so let's break down exactly what it's asking us to do visually. We are given a string made up entirely of zeros and ones, which we will call the string S. Our main goal is very simple. We start at the very first character, and we want to know if it's possible to reach the very last character. The first big rule is that you can only ever land on a 0. If a spot has a 1, it's lava. You cannot touch it. The second rule dictates how far we can jump. We are given a minimum jump distance and a maximum jump distance. So if we are standing at some spot, we must jump forward at least our minimum distance, but no further than our maximum distance. This creates a specific window of possible landing spots ahead of us. Let's walk through an example. Here is our string. Our minimum jump is 2. And our maximum jump is 3. We start at index 0. From index 0, jumping 2 spots forward puts us at index 2, jumping 3 spots puts us at index 3, so our valid landing window is between index 2 and index 3. We look inside that window. Index 2 has a 1, so we can't land there, but index 3 has a 0, which is a safe spot, so we make the jump and land safely on the 0 at index 3. Now we are at index 3. We check our window again. 2 jumps forward is index 5, 3 jumps forward would be index 6, which is off the board. Index 5 happens to be a 0, and it's the very last spot in our string. Since we reached the end, we successfully solved this example and return true. By the way, if you get confused at any point during this explanation, please leave a comment down below. I reply to as many as I can to help you guys out. So how do we actually write an algorithm to figure this out for massive strings? A great way to think about this is dynamic programming. Instead of simulating jumps forward, we go spot by spot and ask, is it possible to reach this current spot from a valid spot behind me? To land safely at our current spot, 2 things must be true. First, the current spot has to be a 0. Second, there has to be at least one successfully reached spot inside the jump window directly behind us. The window behind us is simply calculated by subtracting our maximum and minimum jump values from our current position. If we implement this literally, for every single spot in the string, we have to scan backward through the entire jump window to see if any spot inside it was reachable. If the string and the jump ranges are huge, this scanning takes way too much time. To speed this up, we need a trick. We use something called a prefix sum optimization. Instead of manually looking back and checking every spot in the window one by one, we keep a running total of how many spots we've successfully reached so far. With a running total, we can instantly find out how many reachable spots are inside our specific window. We just take the total at the right edge of the window and subtract the total from just before the window starts. If that subtraction gives us a number bigger than 0, it guarantees there is at least one safe spot to jump from inside that window. This brilliant math trick drops our time down significantly, making it lightning fast. Just as a quick heads up, I'll be breaking down the code logic using Python. If you prefer Java, C++, or JavaScript, I have the full code for those at the very end of the video. Here is the full Python solution using our optimized approach. Let's slice this up and see exactly what it's doing line by line. First, we figure out the length of our string. Then we create 2 lists full of zeros. The list F will track if a spot is reachable, and pre will be our running total of reachable spots. We know the start is always reachable, so we set the first spot in F to 1. Since we can't possibly jump anywhere until we hit the minimum jump distance, the running total of reachable spots for those early indices stays at exactly 1, which represents our starting spot. Now we loop through the rest of the string, starting from our first possible landing spot. For every spot, we calculate the exact left and right boundaries of the window directly behind us. We check if the spot we are currently looking at is a 0. If it's a 1, we completely ignore it because we can't land on it anyway. If it is a 0, we use our running total array to instantly count how many valid jumping points exist in the window behind us. We take the total up to the right edge and subtract the total from just before the left edge. Notice this little edge case check. If our window extends past the beginning of the string, meaning the left boundary is negative or 0, we don't have anything to subtract, so we just use 0. If our total is not 0, it means we found at least one valid jump. We mark our current spot in the EF array as a 1, meaning it is successfully reachable. Finally, whether we reach the current spot or not, we must update our running total array for the next loop. We just take the previous total and add whatever the result was for our current spot. After checking every spot, we simply look at the very last index in our EF array. If it's a 1, we can reach the end, so we return true. Code is always easier to understand when you trace it, So let's quickly run a very small example through our logic. Our string is 0, 1, 1, 0. Minimum jump 2, maximum jump 3. We set up our arrays. Spot 0 is marked as reachable. Because our minimum jump is 2, we fill the prefix array with 1s up to index 1. The main loop starts at index 2. We calculate the backward window, which goes from -1 up to 0. We check the string at index 2. It's a 1. That's lava. We skip the jump check entirely and just carry our prefix sum forward. Now for index 3. Our backward window goes from index 0 to index 1. The string has a 0 here, so we can try to jump. We use our prefix trick. Because the left side of our window is exactly 0, we hit our edge case and subtract nothing. The total is just the prefix sum at index 1, which gives us one valid jump. Because our total is greater than 0, we successfully reached index 3. We mark it, and since index 3 is the end of our string, we return true. Let's talk complexity. Because we only loop through the string once and do simple math at each step, the time complexity is order n. Since we created arrays to store our data, the space complexity is also order n. The major key takeaway for this problem is learning to combine techniques. A sliding window alone was too slow, but by adding a prefix sum, we turned a slow loop into instant subtraction. Keep that trick in your back pocket. Just a quick pause. I want to mention that I actually built this AI narrated format for myself so I could generate clear explanations the moment daily problems drop. It helps me study faster, and I post them here with 0 ads to help you guys out too. I also recently changed the format of these videos to be a bit faster and more visual based on your feedback. Let me know in the comments if you prefer this style. And again, leave any questions about the problem down there too. Alright, as promised, here are the solutions in other languages. If you don't want to type these out manually, you can use the link in the description to grab the exact code from my website, LeetCodeUnlocked.com. Here is the full solution in Java. Next up, here is the C++ version. And finally, here is the solution in JavaScript. Before you go, I want to mention I have another channel called LeetCode Unlocked, where my goal is to eventually upload a solution for literally every single problem on the platform. Go check it out if you want to study more than just the daily challenges. If you want to support that goal, you can donate at buymeaboba.com/LeetCodeDaily. Also, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can get your daily streak done early. Keep coding, and I'll see you tomorrow.